In 1999, the global music industry generated nearly $25 billion in revenue. By 2014, that number had fallen to around $14 billion. In just over a decade, almost half the industry's value disappeared. CD stores shut down. Tower Records filed for bankruptcy. Piracy exploded through Napster, LimeWire, and BitTorrent. The music industry wasn't just struggling, it was collapsing. And then, in 2008, a small Swedish startup launched with a simple promise: unlimited music, instantly. What happened next didn't just save the industry, it permanently rewrote its economics. Before streaming, music was a high-margin product. In the early 2000s, CDs sold for $15 to $20. Apple's iTunes charged 99 cents per song. Consumers often bought entire albums for just one or two tracks they liked. Record labels controlled distribution, radio access, and retail shelf space. Revenue depended on ownership. If you wanted music, you had to buy it. Then, piracy scaled globally. Napster launched in 1999 and quickly attracted millions of users. By the mid-2000s, global recorded music revenue had dropped nearly 40% from its peak. The industry believed pricing was the problem. Spotify's founder, Daniel Ek, believed the problem was convenience. Spotify launched in Europe in 2008 and entered the United States in 2011. Its model was simple: free access with ads, or $9.99 per month for unlimited streaming. No downloads, no ownership, just access. By 2015, Spotify had 75 million users. By 2023, that number had grown to more than 550 million monthly active users, including over 220 million paying subscribers. Streaming didn't just grow, it became dominant. Today, streaming accounts for more than 80% of recorded music revenue in the United States. Physical sales, once the foundation of the industry, became a fraction of total revenue. Music stopped being something you owned. It became something you accessed. But access changed the math. Spotify does not pay artists per subscriber. It pays per stream. Estimates suggest Spotify pays between $0.003 and $0.005 per stream before label cuts. To generate $10,000 in revenue, a song may need roughly 2 to 3 million streams. And that is before management, label, and distributor shares are deducted. In 2023 alone, Spotify reported paying out more than $9 billion to the music industry. Since launch, the company has paid over $40 billion to rights holders. But here's the critical detail. Your $9.99 subscription does not go directly to the artists you listen to. All subscription revenue goes into a pooled system. Payouts are then distributed based on total share of streams across the entire platform. The more streams an artist captures globally, the larger their share of the pool. In the CD era, radio programmers decided which songs became hits. In the streaming era, data influences visibility. Spotify tracks signals like skip rate, completion rate, playlist saves, and listening frequency. In 2015, Spotify launched Discover Weekly. Within its first year, the playlist generated billions of streams. Algorithmic and editorial playlists now drive a significant portion of listening on the platform. Playlist placement can dramatically increase an artist's streams overnight. This changed how music is made. Songs became shorter, hooks arrived faster, Intros shrank to seconds, not because radio demanded it, because data rewarded it. At first, many believed streaming would weaken major record labels. Instead, they adapted. Universal Music Group, Sony Music, and Warner Music negotiated early licensing agreements. Some major labels also acquired equity stakes in Spotify before its 2018 public listing. When Spotify went public in 2018, its valuation exceeded $25 billion. Major labels benefited from streaming revenue and equity gains. The business model shifted from selling units to managing large portfolios of rights. Older songs became long-term streaming assets, generating recurring revenue year after year. Spotify generates revenue from two primary sources: premium subscriptions and advertising. In 2023, Spotify reported more than 13 billion euros in annual revenue. However, roughly 70% of that revenue is paid to rights holders. Music licensing remains expensive. That's why Spotify expanded into podcasts and audiobooks. Podcast advertising offers higher margins because Spotify controls more of the content economics. The strategy is simple: increase user time spent, diversify revenue streams, and reduce reliance on music licensing costs. Streaming helped stabilize global recorded music revenue after years of decline, but the structure of the industry is no longer the same. Ownership has been replaced by access. Albums have been replaced by playlists. Gatekeepers have been replaced by data systems. Artists now rely on streaming analytics to understand audience demographics and touring opportunities. Reach has expanded globally, but per-unit value has declined compared to the CD era. Spotify did not destroy the music industry. It stabilized it, then transformed it. Today, more than 500 million people open the app every month. Millions of artists upload music hoping to be discovered, and every second, the algorithm recalculates who gets heard. Music is no longer a product on a shelf. It's a service in the background, an always-on utility, and its economics have changed forever.